All right, what's going on, people? How's everybody doing today? I wanna do something goofy with this painting here. I'm gonna paint backwards tonight. So I'm gonna attach my brushes to a big rod, and we're gonna paint backwards just for the creative unleashing here. We'll probably do some forward painting, but we're gonna do some backward painting as well. Go, popping that open, getting my little jar of oils. Let's see. Okay, I've got some tape right here. So what I want to do is I want to take this maul stick here, and we're going to attach a paintbrush to the end of it. Attach a paintbrush to the end of it like so. And we're going to use this maul stick to paint backwards. So let's grab some tape here. Good old Scotch tape. Stay. Maybe a little more. And do some live conceptual art on Amazon. Who knows how this will be accepted or not? I don't think this is acceptable anywhere outside of a art gallery, honestly. But I've got a stick here now. It's a little flimsy, but we're just gonna do some backwards painting. So how about that? Let's do something goofy tonight. Do something different, something goofy. So let's start with black. I think black's a good color to really test your creative ability. I'm just gonna paint backwards here. Let's see. I can't really see this corner of the camera. I'm gonna paint like a black hole here. And everything's just going into this black hole. I'm trying to find a better camera. You know what's funny? So I'm looking at this camera right here. This camera is actually reflecting the accurate, but this camera feels more natural. It's funny. I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna paint a little black hole here. Let's see how this goes. Or what is this? I don't know. I might need a bigger brush. That is a common problem, not using a big enough brush here. Let's see. This is how you paint, people. You just do it. You just get into painting. So Claude Monet would paint a big stick on a ceiling, but he never did it backwards. He never did it behind him. If you've ever wanted to see weird performance art on YouTube or Amazon, this is your time to be amused. All right, so let's grab. We got our black. Let's go. We're gonna clean this black off, but we're not gonna get it too cleaned. Just a little bit. And now let's grab some yellow. Got a nice big chunky yellow here. Got a nice big chunky yellow. Got a nice big chunky yellow here. Let's go. And if you're wondering if like this is actually going to become something, I'm trying to use the camera as much as possible to decide where the paint's going to go, but I don't think this is going to. So what we're using right now, this is one of my favorite brushes attached to our this is much harder than it looks. Even though I'm not really doing anything meaningful, it's still kind of difficult to look at the camera and see where my canvas is. Maybe I should just do blindfolded one time. I should just do blindfolded. The thing is, I don't want to totally ruin this painting, but I don't mind, you know, doing some weird, goofy stuff on part of it. Are you not entertained? Who knows what movie that's from? Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Good old Russell Crowe from The Gladiator. I was originally going to try to paint a black hole. And I'm trying to use my brush in an effective way. I don't want to like totally, you know, desecrate this brush here. I cheated. I actually looked back to see what was going on. All right, let's grab some white here. This brush is really getting jacked up right now. Let's grab our white. So this is a Princeton Catalyst brush, and the reason why I don't mind using this brush is because I've had it for a while now. It's one of my early brushes that has lasted me a very long amount of time, and I just found out that Amazon actually sells them individually, which these are some of my favorite brushes, the Princeton Catalyst brushes. I'm gonna keep my craziness up in this corner right here. Let's actually see if we can go into the frame. Yeah, go into the frame. What does that even look like? What is just a mess? It is just a mess. We should throw some movements into it, some musical beats. Some dots. Let's see. Go like this. I think at some point, if I have another canvas, I'll probably do this. This is my first time experimenting with this, but maybe we'll do it with more expression next time. You know, a little bit more like grace and a bigger brush. All right, enough of the backward stuff. That feels kind of weird. I'm just gonna We're just gonna paint it from a distance here. Paint from a distance. This brush is not staying with this tape. I feel like I need to give it a better taping here. Let's see, take this off maybe. Yeah, it's not even sturdy. It's not sturdy enough. Let's try this again. Just make sure the two are nice and tight together. Right on the foot. Brought to you by Scotch tape, the tape of Scotch, of the Scotch. All right. It's nice and sturdy. Oh, that feels nice and sturdy now. Here we go. It's actually quite heavy at the bottom. It's like weighted because it's a mall stick. It's a pretty heavy thing. So my hand is feeling heavy. What is that? What is this mess here? How much messier can we get? Let's find some more red. We're gonna grab some of this Windsor pink. Painting with both hands right now, like a sword. Well, on Amazon Live, this is probably the first time you're seeing something goofy like this that you can't really learn from. But this is sometimes what I do on my live streams, just to break out of a creative hurdle. I do crazy things to keep my creativity flowing. Bizarre things, weird things. I would like to do a book. What are the most like weird creative exercises that some people do? I asked one lady, and I don't know if I should share it because it was hers, but she did say in a public setting, but she says she goes to a bathroom and she just stares at the tiles in the bathroom. And that is her creative exercise. That is her way of breaking out of a creative rut. These oil paints brought to you by, I will say though, oil paints, the one thing about oil painting that I feel goes unmentioned is that I feel like as far as abstract work goes, oil paints don't really lend themselves the best to like abstract work as far as like super abstract. I'm not talking like, people that are just really good with shapes and design, like Pete Mondrian. I'm not talking about that type of abstract work. I'm talking about like super expressive abstract stuff. Or just like, just like that like raw type of like abstract stuff that you sometimes see from the 1980s. It can be hard to achieve that with like oil paints, because oil paints have such a texture and a design to them. Such a not a design, but like a texture. They're very thick. I'm gonna paint into the night. We're gonna see how long I can paint for, because I'm tired. I'm a little bit tired. It's pretty early, but I'm already tired. It's really tired. Been up for a while. A couple of streams. Let's see how we can actually make this something interesting. Let's go. Is it possible? I don't know. I feel like at this point it's already, this top corner is ruined. Is it? Express myself all over the painting. I can't do this on every painting, so when I do get the chance to do it, I do it. Let's grab a nice big tube of, we got to get rid of this Windsor Mini yellow. So let's bring this yellow in, because the tube has a hole in it. And I need to get rid of it before it dries. if anybody has said anything in chats. Okay. I think it's a good time to just examine pigments. Or maybe I should just paint in silence this whole time. What just happens if I just paint in silence until someone responds? I usually do a lot of talking, but it sounds like these, I don't really know what to talk about. You know, I'm painting something nonsensical. Nonsensical. Just like the chaos of life. Let's grab some white. You know what, let's go back to the backwards painting again. I kind of like that shtick. What is this? Let's see. See, this is the fun you can have if you get some paints. If you pick up painting, this is the fun you can have on a Saturday night, right? This is the type of Saturday night fun that adults dream of on their Saturday evenings. The outrage, the absurdity, the irony of what I'm saying. All right, let's get some more. Whoops. Let's get some more of this yellow paint. I think yellow is going to be our key color here. And part of me can't tell. I'm like thinking to myself, is this actually doing anything? Or is this just total BS, right? Like, is this actually something? Am I doing anything? Is this gonna help lead to some meaningful insight for me? Or is it just total BS? And I'm just like, you know, I should be in the office right now on Saturday night working to become the next CEO of a company. Or maybe working in an emergency room, saving lives as a doctor, doing something important in society, and not ruining someone else's artwork. By the way, I got this as a gift, and the person that gifted it to me wanted me to do something to this. So that's what we're doing. They wanted me to paint dinosaurs, so I did that, but I gotta do more. Let's go into this section right here. I'm just gonna make this. Make it a nice little section. It's actually turning out pretty nice in this color here. Adults should be productive. Is this not the most beautiful and original painting you have ever seen in your entire time being painted live online? It probably is, right? Like, this has to be the most original painting that's ever been painted live on YouTube. Or Amazon Live. I think I at least hold that title. Who thinks it's derivative? Raise your hand if you think it's derivative. Feel free to leave comments. regardless of what station you're coming from. We're gonna drop the behind the back act. I don't think it's gonna work for this. I think this color adds a little bit more pop to our dinosaur. It's like, what is going on? What is going on up there? This battle, this chaos. I love it. I love this chaos. This mix of just like chaotic. I love this. Here's the funny thing. I go on Reddit a lot with my life I go on Reddit a lot, and I like to look at the art groups. And I'm getting banned from more and more of them because they keep saying that I'm promoting myself, which I think more artists should speak out against Reddit stupidity, because people are so upset about like, oh, my kitties, oh, you can't be out here, kitty, get out of here. Kittens can't be around my paints. You can't be around my paints, little buddy. Here, the big kitties know a little better. Look at this. We got little kittens. Little baby kitten. Hello, little baby. Gotta keep you in the room. Little baby. Hello. Little baby kitten. We're fostering them. I have 6 kittens, cats that I'm taking care of right now. Hello, little baby. Little baby. What's up, little guy? Yeah? Whoa, look how brave he is. Trying to climb on my shoulder and leap off into the netherworlds, huh? Trying to leap off into the netherworlds? Trying to leap into the netherworld, huh? Little baby. Okay, that's enough. Let's put this cat into. I gotta leave him in the bedroom so he doesn't come out of here. Okay, where was I? Yes, cats. Well, not we. So my partner's not home. Girlfriend, she's not home for a little while. She's going to visit family. So I have 6 cats to take care of. Two senior cats, 2 junior cats, and 2 infants. But it's so rewarding. It's great to have like foster kittens. Anyone who has a good foster program in their life at a local neighborhood or shelter or something should definitely do so, because it definitely feels very worthwhile, very rewarding. Uh-oh, I hear another kitten. Let me get him out of here too. Where is it? Where are the kittens? Why do I hear these meows? I just had to check to make sure that they were both in the room. I've got all this stuff in my apartment that a little kitten will easily get lost. But if I can at least contain them in the room, they won't get too lost. All right, enough about cats. Let's get back to painting. I had this thought the other day. I was talking about my last YouTube video, where I destroyed my painting, a painting that I spent a lot of time on. And I was talking about the reasoning behind it, etc., etc. And people, I think people wonder, like, how can you spend so much time on something and just let that time, just totally destroy it? How can you do that? And it made me think about this idea that there are worse things that people spend time on that totally just, goes to oblivion, like watching TV. And I'm not, saying anything bad about watching TV. I have a TV. Or, playing video games is another example, right? Like, how much time gets put into playing video games, and then, where does that time go, right? It doesn't go, it doesn't produce anything. And I'm not trying to get all like tech bro. I'm not trying to get all like tech bros 24/7 hustle on anybody. It's not what I'm trying to get at. But I am trying to. What I do want to say here is this idea that why is it that time can be spent so much into doom scrolling, television, gaming, and any of those things, but if I spend that same amount of time making a painting and then destroying it, why is that suddenly blasphemous? It's not really blasphemous, but I think people did have a feeling of like, why would you do that? Is he out of his mind? Is he out of control? Is he insane? Should I keep supporting his artwork if he's just going to destroy his paintings? So I do have some collectors follow my Instagram, and I have a few collectors that comment regularly, and that was probably one of the first posts that they did not comment on, was my post of destroying my painting. I feel like they did not approve of it, which they're also cool art people, but at the same time, I wonder what do they think? What do people think? And it's interesting because like when you're live streaming, I do get some feedback. I do have some amazing people who on my channel will comment and criticize and tell me how they feel, and it's great to have that feedback, that criticism, that critique. And a few friends that I could send my paintings to, but they're also like not necessarily art people, so they wanted to have, so to them they just don't get it. But what I was saying is that I forget what I was gonna go on about. What was I about to go on about? What's up, Omi Zoo, the homie Zoo? I like this extra area here. It's kind of cool, right? This is a really interesting area. It's chaotic, but it's like if you look at it from a distance, it just like it looks like a combat in the sky. Just chaotic combat. Chaotic combat to titness. Try to find another color I can use. Let's go with some of this Windsor blue. Get some ultramarine blue down here. Okay, let's grab some of this Windsor blue. And let's throw some contrasting colors in here. Do some contrasting colors. Let's go like this. Oh yeah. Just some nice, unusual organic shapes here. Maybe I'll do an abstract version of her up here. This dinosaur definitely needs more shapes, more detail on him. Oh, this phone's not charging. Shoot. Let's get this phone charged up. Come on now, don't die on me yet. Don't die on me, phone. And we're live. All right, cool. Oof, 5%. I love that the phone goes dark before it decides to shut down, because that gives me a second to notice. I'm gonna keep all this wild and craziness on this side. What does all this mean? I don't know if my abstracted stuff like this section right here, has really evolved much since my first paintings. I feel like I just have more paint and more space now from which to make absurdities. Hair, cat hair is somehow just floating around and getting into my eye. I think it's from picking up that kitten. All right, I think we've got enough of a mess on here. Let's see if it's possible to make it look beautiful with the power of nature. With our powers combined, we are Captain Planet. Like, I'm often curious as to like how big of a net mess I can actually make in one sitting. And still be able to like turn it into something that looks halfway decent. So that's gonna be the goal right now. I'm gonna untape this if I can. You didn't think I was gonna paint all weird all night, did you? Trust me though, we're still gonna stay pretty experimental. This whole theme of this messy painting, I'm gonna see if we can transform transform what we got into something different, something that looks a bit nicer. Okay. Alright, so I'm trying to think like what color I really need to do this. I'm gonna grab yellow. I think yellow is gonna be our primary color here. So what if we just do strokes, just strokes here, just lines coming down. So this is what I really love about this brush, by the way. It's this, that I can just be so rough with this brush, literally just scraping across our surface here. I can just be so rough with this brush. And it does such a great job because it's synthetic fiber, so it's not too gentle. If the brush is too gentle, you're not going to be able to get these expressions here. What does this do? I think what I'm doing right now ultimately just helps to organize some of the mess here. And hopefully it looks a little better. I just want to see how this actually looks when I do this. Do that. It is interesting though, right? Can we call this an interesting painting at least? You know what I noticed? I get trolls, like real internet trolls, but I rarely ever get like art critic trolls. Like people that actually like have an opinion on art specifically, that are like, that's derivative, or like, you know, that's a copy, that's not even good. Whatever. I usually get more like just internet trolls who are just angry at the world or something. They're angry about something. I made a post on Threads today. I said every digital artist who's like scared of AI should definitely consider trying to move into physical art. It'll change your life. Physical art can change your life. Maybe not for the best. You know, I can't guarantee that it will be for the best, but it will definitely do something to your life. I actually like this effect, by the way. This is a really interesting effect. It's got like a it's like a some sort of like scrambled image, right? There's like an image here in the center and it's like scrambled. Can't really see it. It looks like there might have been something there, but because of this, it kind of scrambles it and gives it this like extra dimension of color. I like it. I approve. I approve. I approve this message. A little extra paint right here. I gotta pick that glob up. go. This dinosaur is shocked as to what's going on. Maybe this is a reflection. This painting is a reflection of modern society, right? This is called the selfie. That's the name of this painting. And, you know, all this stuff could be going around. Aliens, dinosaurs breathing fire, a purple dinosaur that's not Barney, but someone might think he's Barney. This lizard-looking thing. Whatever this chaos is in the sky, all of that could be happening around you, and you know, people just want to take selfies. Isn't that hilarious? Wouldn't that make you lose your mind? How funny that is? Wouldn't that make you lose your mind? Yes. So here we go. Let's keep going like this. Look at all this yellow right here. This is a lot of yellow. Let's go bring this down. Here we go. I'm just trying to see it from a camera perspective. Do I like how that looks? It's different. And no, all right, let's clean this off. We're gonna go for some additional people here. Let's go. I'm gonna paint some people into this. Some very loose people. It's a person. It's a person twerking. Let's get another person twerking here. They actually kind of look like they're taking a dump because of the way that they're sitting. But let's do another one. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what someone twerking looks like without a reference, without pulling up a visual image. Because this one, he's like bent over a little bit too far back, like he's in a squat position, not a twerking position. I think a twerking requires straight legs, right? If you're gonna be twerking, you need straight legs and like the science of the twerk. Let's get a nice twerk here, a twerker with a big old booty. Massive booty here. And then straight legs right here. Got a little bit of big feet. We need three. We need three twerkers. Let's have a blue twerker. Let's get a blue twerker here. And this twerker, she'll be on her knees. There we go, the twerking trio. Why do I find this so amusing? Alright, let's see. I'm gonna come around here. Like this. Oh shoot. You know, I forgot. So I forgot that she has kids. And I don't know if she can have this painting if she has kids in the house. I mean, I'm sure, you know, they wouldn't mind, but I don't actually know if they can do this painting with kids. I mean, it's not like gratuitous, it's just kind of goofy. This looks like a sumo squat. I don't know what we're gonna do about that, but let's go ahead and leave this. Get some black hair going. They're all gonna have black hair. Give this dinosaur some a little bit more, some more shapes, you know. He needs to stand out a little bit more. There's a lot going on. So if he doesn't stand out, you know. Let's give it a little bit. This one is absolutely ridiculous. Because not only does it look like a sumo wrestler, because this underwear, but like they're in this like a squat position, like a sumo wrestler. But I guess none of this is actually supposed to look too real, so. Except her, she's supposed to look good. That's the whole idea. I feel like this face needs like a window with an eye in it. See how that's looking. Got a little bit of a cubist face going in this thing. And here's what I think is interesting about this painting. If I was to see it, you know, you see a lot of artists have like a certain style, right? They will do like a single idea, a single theme on one huge painting. But I think this painting actually reflects, I don't know if it reflects other people's minds, but I do think it reflects my mind in that, you know, my mind is just like super, I feel like this actually reflects the more modern mind, right? The more modern mind that is flexible, pliable, right? It's got so many ideas, not just one conforming idea, but, you know, there's the dinosaurs, and then there's the abstract idea, and then there's the well-painted face. I think this face is painted pretty well, so I'm gonna give myself that credit. There's, you know, just all these different elements kind of put into one painting, and none of it, and those elements aren't necessarily totally cohesive or like or similar. But isn't that reflective of the modern mind? Would anyone agree to that? Would anyone agree that it's like, you know, in a way it does reflect how people really think? Or am I just like really out of touch with what the typical person probably, you know, how they probably think, having these like scattered thoughts. One day you want to try one thing, another day you want to try something else. One second you're thinking of one thing, another second you're thinking of something else. Because that's what my art really is a lot about, is rather than trying to find a style or to create a movement, you know, my pieces are really about finding what's inside the mind, you know, what's on the mind, in the mind. My nose keeps itching from some cat hair. So we're gonna go with some red here. Let's grab a nice big chunk of red. We need a lot of red, actually. We're of course gonna go into the lips with our red here. And then we're gonna add a little bit of red outside of the shape here, and a little red around. Trying to see if I can get a yellow. Let's try to find like a nice green here. Maybe I might even give this like a deeper, might even go up a level as far as the name of this painting to something like The History of the World in a Selfie. We've got the dinosaurs, we've got the Stone Age and the Modern Age, we've got aliens, we've got, I think this could represent a lot of things: chaos, war, destruction, recreation. And we've got eggs, and we've got a modern person with some realism, got a little bit of some cubism here, and it's like the history of the world in a selfie. I like that idea, but I feel like it still needs some more. You know, we got the apple tree. What else do we really need? What else can this painting possibly require? Sadly, I have nowhere to hang this painting, so even if I was to say that I was done, I couldn't actually take this painting off and start a new painting because it's too big for my apartment. I can't leave it on the floor because I have cats that will inevitably bump into it, and I don't want them bumping into all the paint. So I feel like I have to at least let the edges dry. I think the edges might be dry almost. Let's see. Yeah, they're a little bit sticky, but it's getting there. Some of it's dry, which is good. Some of it has dried. Alexa, what is the Roman numeral for 2025?
2025 is represented as MMXXV in Roman numerals.
MMXXV. Alexa, what are the Roman numerals for 25?
25 is represented as XXV in Roman numerals.
Alexa, tell me something about sacred geometry.
According to Wikipedia, sacred geometry ascribes symbolic and sacred meanings to certain geometric shapes and certain geometric proportions. It is associated with the belief of a divine creator of the universal geometer.
We have to add something here that's like, Alexa, tell me about a sacred geometrical shape.
From everydaypower.com. The flower of life is one of the basic geometric forms of sacred geometry, containing 7 circles that overlap and build outward, making a flower pattern.
Hey Google, can you show me a photo of a flower involved in sacred geometry? Hey Google, can you show me the sacred geometry flower?
Link to Google user content.
Sacred geometry flower. How can I put an element of sacred geometry in this? I feel like it has to be in the trees. But it's already too late because I've already made this mess of a tree. Alexa, can you repeat what you said last?
Sorry, there is nothing to repeat.
Nothing to repeat. Maybe add some blue here. Teardrops. Teardrops always mean something. Symbolism. Let me see what ChatGPT can pull up for me. Yes, I'm using AI. If you want to call me out and say something, say it, please. ChatGPT, can you tell me about sacred geometry and the flower in sacred geometry and show me an image of a shape that might be related to sacred geometry? Geometric patterns and shapes. Flower of life pattern, okay. Seed of life is 7 circles. Tree of life. Multiple evenly spaced circles. I don't know anywhere I can actually place this. Oh, what is that crazy flower? I'm not going to draw that. I'm not going to draw that flower, ChatGPT. 7 circles. Well, I probably could. Do I have a stencil? I wonder if I have a stencil. You know what? I do have. That's what this is for, right? That's what these little round circle things are for. Let's get deep in this. One big circle. I just don't know if. No, I need like rulers and like little stencils for that. Actually, you know what? It's not that hard. I don't think it would be that hard. Let me try it. Let me try some sacred geometry. So let's see, the circle in the center, and then the center of the circle goes up, and then another one at the top there. This idea brought to you by Omizu Paints. So Omizu Paints is another live streaming artist who told me about a book titled Sacred Geometry this morning. And I am taking into account this idea. But it doesn't look like 7 circles. Flower of life pattern, that's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Show me an image for the seed of life that you were just mentioning. I feel like I'm using AI in an ethical way because this is technically stuff I could just search for, but it's so much easier if ChatGPT to have ChatGPT teach you something. Is it bad to let ChatGPT teach me something? Let's see. I don't know if I necessarily take its word on it, but well, let's go. All right, that flower is a little bit more doable. One, so where do they intersect? The center. The center should all intersect. That's really difficult, actually. Should all intersect at its center. That's actually kind of hard. I'm trying to think of how I can do it without a... I do have a compass. I could try to use that. Let's see. Let's try to use a compass. Where would I put my compass? Nope, not in here. You know what? We're just gonna work. There's a good place to place a circle here. Right above. like this idea that there's gonna be like a perfect little circle right in the center here. And where can we find what I can try? We're just gonna fill some of the empty spaces with this wonderful, wonderful circle. Let's go with these apples. I don't like the streaming format on YouTube because it doesn't let me see the chats the whole time. See, I want to add 7 circles though. 1, 2, 3. Number 4 over here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's have one of these overlap her. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, I think that's a good number, right? It's like a symbolic number of circles. Let's do something else here. Let's bring in some dripping paint into these. No, we're gonna clean off this before I forget. Clean off this paint off of all the paint that's on the surface here. And let's grab the same brush. We're just going to keep using this brush. Grab some of our white from Della Rowney. Our Della Rowney Georgian Oil White. It's very, very creamy. I think they put a lot of oil into it. Well, I definitely know they put a lot of oil into it. A lot of oil. Oh. My goal here is to allow the white and the paint and the mineral spirits to like do a job. So I'm trying to squeeze out some mineral spirits onto this really wet paint area. I just love like drip paint techniques. I don't mean like drip paint like like splatter paint. I mean like dripping paint, as in really thinned out paint that's almost watery, and allowing that to pretty much move paint in a space. What else do we need in this painting? I like the space now. It's like it just feels like it was so boring before, you know, just like this big empty space. And nothing wrong with like boring, but there's nothing there except clouds. It needs color. It needs shape, design, stuff. And I'm just like feeling out overall balance, right? She definitely dominates this side. There's a lot of other stuff going on. And I'm just wondering how much more needs to happen. Let's try something here. I got mineral spirits in my here. Basically, I'm gonna try to let it drip. Just gonna dip it onto here in this little dropper. You see how it affects the paint. Because oil paint, it really does have just a beautiful way of spreading itself. If you have like a very like the mistake that I made with this is I didn't make the oil paint wet enough at first. I didn't make it loose enough or thin enough at first. So I don't really think it's gonna do what I'd like for it to do, which is loosen up all the paint below it and kind of just let the drip happen. Let the drip and all the colors just kind of mold together. That's what I would love to happen here. But we all know that things don't always work the way you want it to. Alright, let's go across again. Boom. Let's just keep dripping this all the way across. And hopefully, let's see how what can happen. Just gonna keep going. Let's go again. Let's go again until enough drips all the way to the bottom. This is a lot of mineral spirit, by the way. This is why you use mineral spirits mainly, just so you can kind of loosen up the paint and thin it out. I don't recommend this though, because even though mineral oil doesn't have a smell, I definitely notice that I get like, you know, I feel it. I'm very sensitive to any like sort of odors or scents or whatever, and I can usually tell my body noticing when there's a lot of chemicals in the air. But that's why I have a fan. I work by an open door. All these things in an effort to stay safer and above the fumes. And that's why I use mineral spirits and not turpentine, because I think turpentine's even worse. And also another safety thing, don't paint by an open fire if you're going to use a lot of mineral spirits, right? Because mineral spirits are flammable. I actually like how this is dripping here. Let's go a little bit further. Let's push this just a little bit more. You gotta drip a lot in order to let the drip go. Let gravity do the work. Let it drip. Let it drip. I have to step away from it every few moments, because otherwise I definitely feel like the spirits evaporate. Let's drip some more right in this top corner here. Just let it race down. There we go. So if you really wanted this technique to work better, you would probably make this paint a lot less thick because you can get some really beautiful effects if you use the full effects of the different materials available to you. And if I really wanted this to work better, to just get it to like kind of just like pour down and just drip, I probably would have started from the beginning and made this all very, very loose. Used a lot of mineral spirits right from the beginning because it's kind of thick now. So the mineral spirits has to do extra work to break it apart. And then, pour it some extra so it's nice and liquid here, and then add more liquid. And I think it would be mineral spirits. I wouldn't call it a liquid though. It's a chemical. It's a liquid chemical. Don't get it mixed up with liquids. Let's see where else I can find just a bit more. Just want to find a bit more of this. Just a little bit more. It's kind of nice to just see how it falls naturally, I won't be able to work on anything more serious until I actually deliver this painting, because I just don't have space. Unless I paint outdoors, unless I do all my paintings outdoors, which that's possible, but it's also very, I don't know, it's summertime. I don't want to go outside during the summer. Let's go with this, get this. Break this down, bam, baby. It's right up into this corner here. Right up into the corner. Loosen up that paint. Let's loosen up this paint here. What if I drip some in the middle? Get some different patterns going. I like it. Where is this? What do I need? More time or more ideas? Right, you know what? We're done for the night. We're gonna put a pause on this. We've messed around enough. Had our fun. Gonna get ready for the evening hour. And there we have it. Okay, we're finished for now. I might even be done with this. I'm not sure yet. I want to give it another day, but I'm gonna need to at least give it a few more days to let the loosely painted, whatever you call this, frame dry. Because if I want to bring this, I can't bring in my car all wet. So I'll need at least a couple of days to let that dry. But in the meantime, I can still think of some ideas. But I like this chaos. This, sense of calm. Pieces of perfect circles. A good painting of a figure, of a person, mixed with just absurdity, chaos, weirdness, abstraction. I like it. Sometimes you got to critique your own work. And with that, we're going to put this on wraps. We'll put this under wraps now. And those of you that tuned in, just want to say thank you. Thank you, and take care. Hope you have a great evening. Oh, Milk Tea says success. Thank you. Have a good evening. Yes, take care, dude. The gears are turning.